Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mikey, man. Can we keep it real podcast? How's everybody doing today on this Saturday morning, man? Dwayne Haskins, NFL football player, dead at 24 years old. Rest in peace to him. I was coming on today to talk a little bit about the NIL, and then this just happened. So big rest in peace to him, his family. I'm sure they're going to need time, but big shout out to everybody that helps me get this done. Big shout out to Rally Point. The only way to stand is together. Definitely get out there and get a copy of Coach Pennington's new book, Truth or Smoker, What Barbecue Can Teach You About How God Prepares a Man. But I want to talk a little bit about, I wanted to let you all know about Dwayne Haskins dying in a car accident. Rest in peace to him, his family. But shout out to everybody that helps make this possible. We're going to get into a little NIL talk today, and then we're going to finish the conversation. Yes, definitely sad news. Shout out to the professor, man. The professor, how's my sound? We're going to get into NILs in high school football today. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And I know who signed the $8 million deal. A lot of other people do too. But now NIL in 8 states now. NIL in now 8 states. High school kids can now take advantage of NIL. It looks like Archie Manning signs that $8 million NIL deal. He'll get $350,000 right away. And then he'll continue because the whole pay-for-play thing comes in, so they can't really tell you what school to go to. But then he'll get a reported $2 million a year. Louisiana can now accept NIL for high school students. What do you think about that? Are we going to start seeing Jimmy John's Pizza and Ralph's Machine Shop, Uncle Jimmy's Joe's? And we don't know nothing about NILs. But David Haskins, man, very sad thing. Anybody want to come on? I'll put the link up in the description box. Dwayne Haskins reportedly killed in a car accident. So sad. Definitely check out all the great shows we have this week on the Voice Sports Network, man. Wayne the Voice Matthews, he's doing a tremendous job. Him, his team, Clinton Robinson, definitely go check out everything Clinton has going on in the lab. Made the move, got a nice studio, all decked out. Salute to you guys. Samson, the bad guy who just came in and killed the rookie of the year in sports media. I mean, can we get an amen on that one? I love what Samson's doing. I love what Wayne is doing, and everybody over there. Now, Wayne been doing this for a long time, but I'm going to put the link up there. If somebody wants to come talk about Haskins, or you want to talk about the NIL, there's so much to cover. I figured we're going to cover it a little bit today, and then we're also going to cover it over on the Voice Sports Show Tuesday at 8 o'clock. That show, anything could happen. No holds barred over there. It's definitely not a show for the sensitive ones. You know what I mean? But yeah, they're about to take off on the Unfinished Business Tour. I'm just trying to get my other computer pretty much up and running. But Haskins, man, sad story. But let me put this link up in the comment section. And then if you want to copy and paste it, I love that orange citrus. And we also can be found on YouTube, Youth Football Coaching Interviews over on YouTube as well. Voice Sports, Can We Keep It Real podcast. I mean, we out there, as they say, we outside. It'd be nice. Maybe I can get somebody from Voice. Do you people know that Voice Sports is in 22 states pushing content? You know what I mean? So you hook up with Voice Sports. Your stuff is going minimum 22 state Voice Sports reporters are sharing your content. Our Tuesday night show, we be putting up 5,000 views. Easy 5,000 views. But yeah, definitely check that out. But we're gonna as soon as this computer loads a little bit, man, I can't believe like we always hear about players that, and I guess it happens to anybody. But man, the kid was what 24 years old. I think I put it up in the comment section. Let's see. So tap the link. If anybody wants to come in and talk about this, hit the link streamyard.com/VPT 853 GXUS. It's easier just to copy and paste it. Yeah, definitely come on in here. Maybe someone from Voice Sports can come chat about the Unfinished Business Tour that they have coming up. And I think you still have time um to actually go to, let me see if I got it. Of course I don't, but big shout out to Champion Drive doing their thing. DSP definitely we tried to get him on the show this Thursday. I think he'll be back on this upcoming week. But big shout out to everything Voice Sports has going on. I know I have it in my files, but and we're gonna get there. 1 second, people. We're gonna get there. There it is. The Unfinished Business Tour is now at the bottom of the page. So them are the dates. Shout out to Al Spears. I think the Davenport, Florida one was canceled. And I know there's a big show coming up this weekend in New Jersey. And there's another one that is gonna be, now we have Taberski that's gonna back him up. Yeah, I don't know if they're ready to elaborate on all of that yet, but let's see. Let me get something up here on the screen. Hold on a second. 550 tweets in the last hour. An Ohio State standout NFL quarterback dies Saturday morning in a car accident in South Florida. Wow, this kid was born 1997. Imagine that, 1997. Let's see if we can get something up here on the screen. You'll have to excuse me. I had to make cutbacks. I got to do my own producing. Voice Sports has it made. Like they don't have to. They got a producer. They got all of that. All right. Let me get this article up here. If you have a show that you think would be a good show to be a podcast, definitely reach out to me. We could hook you up. You can get your own podcast started. So let me know. And it don't have to be sports related. Anything you want to talk about. Let me see. All right, here we go. Here we go, people. Definitely share the stream. Share the stream. If you want to come on, hit the link. It's in the comments section. We're gonna put it. Yep. Here we go. Bang. There it is. There it is for all the platforms. We on YouTube right now. We on Twitter right now. We on Voice Sports. And then when I get this uploaded, it'll be on iHeartRadio, Spotify. That'll be later on today. But so let's get into this a little bit. Let me get back over to the page. Let's see what they had to say.
Steelers QB Dwayne Haskins, 24, dies after being struck by vehicle.
Former Ohio State and Washington football team quarterback Dwayne Haskins, who was training with his Pittsburgh Steelers teammates in South Florida, died on Saturday after he was struck by a vehicle. Haskins' agent, Cedric Saunders, revealed the tragic news to ESPN. Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin released a statement. As did Ron Rivera, Haskins' head coach in 2020. The 15th overall selection in the 2019 draft, Haskins had a remarkable 2018 season for the Ohio State Buckeyes in which he threw for 4,831 yards and 50 touchdowns to just 8 interceptions. He started 13 games over 2 seasons for Washington before he was released and signed by the Steelers. NFL Draft. There are no trades in this mop, mostly so I can remain sane, at least relatively speaking, and this is a look at how things might unfold.
Yo, his stats was crazy. His touchdown to interception ratio. Sad day. Sad day. Anytime somebody passes away in an automobile accident. Up here in Rhode Island, we had 2 high school students that we lost in an automobile accident to drunk driving on no fault of their own. 2 students were on their way to practice. They got hit head on. Another student was rear-ended. So anytime the loss of life happens, we are outraged. And rest in peace to Steeler Nation, man. Shout out to my guy Dwayne Matthews. I'm sure, yeah, Dwayne Matthews. Wayne Matthews. I'm sure he's not feeling up to it today after this news. Big Steeler fan. Um, but yeah, what he did at Ohio State alone, a first round pick. See if there's anything else. South Florida, everything this man did in his career. Sad day in the NFL. Sad day in Pittsburgh. Let's see what the New York Post has. Oh, the New York Post. I don't even think they'll let me unless I subscribe. Subscribe. Steelers quarterback Dwayne Haskins. Okay. He was training with other Steeler quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers when a vehicle struck him. Wait a minute. He was training with other Steelers. Well, it sounds like maybe at the time he was training, but I don't think the vehicle struck him while he was training. Let's see. Let's see what the New York Post has to say. Give me 1 second to get him up on the screen. What do you think about NIL football players getting paid? Football high school players getting paid. What do you think about that? Okay, let me get this up on the screen for you. Here we go. Share this tab. NFL QB dead. That's kind of harsh. New York Post, shame on you. That is pretty harsh for the New York Post. NFL QB. Come on. Have a little more respect. Put some respect on his name. So he dies after being hit by a car. Okay, he was being hit by a car. He was training with other Steelers quarterbacks, running backs. Oh, wow. So maybe he was training when this happened. Where was he training? Oh, and something else we're going to talk about later, how a Texas school had a cross-gender day. I got to upload the video on this computer, man, but we're definitely going to talk about that. So yeah, Steelers. So it looks like, yeah, maybe once more information comes out, does anybody know if that's what happened? Was he training when he got hit by a car? And where was he training to get hit by a car? Let me send this out to my guy's inbox and see if he's willing to come on and talk about this if he has any. So Wayne the Voice Matthews, I'm gonna have to put up the bat light. You are wanted. You need to talk about this. You being a Pittsburgh, what are you hearing? What is anybody hearing? Did it happen while he was training? Did it happen while he was training? So it looks like that's what happened. Let's see if we can find anything else. Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin released a statement. As did Ron Rivera, Haskins head coach in 2020. Let's see. Louise Washington, the 15th overall selection, 2019. Haskins had a remarkable. He had a remarkable. Let me get back there. Where was I? 2018 season for the Ohio State Buckeyes, in which he threw 4,831 yards and 50 touchdowns to just 8 interceptions. He started 13 games over 2 seasons for Washington before he was released and signed by the Steelers. Well, it's definitely sad, but let's talk a little bit about the NIL. I'm waiting to see if Wayne can actually see what do we have here. It's a shame. Look at his Twitter followings just going up and going up and going up. Kingdomofpride.com. I only make classics. That was one of Dwayne Haskins' tweets. The devil comes for you at your highest moment. Exactly. Yeah, so but we're gonna talk a little bit about the NIL thing that happened. I think it was last week that I think it was last week I was talking about the NIL. We were gonna talk a little bit about it on Voice Sports and how kids are getting paid now in college for their name, their image, their likeness, and then I hear that there was a class of 2023 player. There was a class of 2023 player that received an $8 million deal. The class definitely to be, and they said the student was going to be named later. And then I see that I'm starting to read around, and I was like, who could be a student? It can only be a few different kids, and one that came to mind was Archie Manning, but then I said, well, that's Louisiana. Louisiana NILs are not allowed yet like they are in 8 other states or 7 other states. And then I see that the Louisiana Athletic Association ended up putting bylaws into there that allowed it for Louisiana kids to get NIL deals. So it all makes sense that Archie Manning signed an $8 million NIL deal now that they're letting high school kids get NILs. What do you think? Do you think NIL kids should get high school contracts? Should NILs be allowed in high school? Archie Manning signing this big deal. And who's putting these valuations on a lot of these students? You see one kid, but now remember the NFHS had made it clear that NCAA NIL rule changes do not affect high school student athletes that participate in the NFHS. And guess what? Most of the teams, if not all the teams in high school football across the country, are part of the NFHS. So but I'm sure that the Manning family did their homework, and the HS actually did a show not long ago where they recognized the talents of a lot of high school student athletes. They recognized the state's associations, but they also said that they have rules in place that prohibit student athletes from receiving money that is connected to wearing their school uniform. But now we have states adopting ways for the NIL to move around. Is this going to restrict high school NIL rules? Could it create a trend in more high school student athletes transferring to private schools that don't restrict NIL opportunities? So is this going to make even more kids go to schools like a Bishop Hendricken, where I am locally, because I know the private school? Is this going to make more people actually trend to NIL deals in high school football? And of course, then it just goes right on through college. Crazy. You notice how the numbers change when you talk about somebody died and then you try to talk about something positive. But I mean, NILs, they definitely could create opportunities for a lot of state high school programs. But we definitely got to teach kids more about being an entrepreneur. Teach them more about business, more about working together, because we're getting away from that. We're definitely getting away from that. You look what's going on in Texas. A switch gender day. The boys would dress up as girls and the girls
Will dress up as boys.
like, what is that? What are we doing here, people? What are we doing here? And I know a lot of people want me to talk about the Steelers, Dwayne Haskins thing, but what is there more to say until we get more information respectfully? I don't want to say that somebody drove off the road into a training facility. Where was he training? What was he doing? So once we get more information about Dwayne Haskins, we'll talk about it. There really isn't much more to talk about. So, and I think this NIL situation is very serious. Um, Especially now that we have 8 states actually that joined on to this. Let me see. Here we go. All right. Let me boom. All right, and Black and Miles hurt me. All right, so let's look at this. This is all connected to Archie Manning, part of the big Manning family. All connected. So now the Louisiana High School Athletic Association is making sure nothing restricts high schools and their student athletes from navigating new NIL opportunities that are evolving even at the pre-college level. We heard a week ago that there was a class of 2023 high school student. A lot of people thought it was the kid from California that had a potential NIL deal worth $8 million. Let's see if I can find that. $8 million, 350,000 paid up front. And then we see Louisiana change their rules midway through, and all of a sudden Louisiana can now accept NIL deals. So that makes a lot of sense. Archie Manning, okay, yeah, let's lock him down for $8 million. I'm not sure who it is yet. We're still waiting for that. Student from class of 2023. And you can't even judge it because Archie Manning, the number one recruit, is it because he's part of the royal family, the royal Manning family? I think they're gonna do like everyone else. They're gonna overvalue a lot of these kids. Definitely gonna overvalue kids, undervalue. I mean, it's something very new. A lot of people are kind of just gonna sit back in the cut. Five-star recruit. A five-star recruit. 2023 five-star recruit signs $8 million NIL deal. Now, at this time, nobody really knew who that person was. But before we get into that, I want to thank the people that help us make this possible. Boy, them views went way down. Um, Shout out West Pennington through the smoke of a barbecue can teach you about how God prepares a man by West Pennington. Go to rallypointmensministries.org. And if you're on the Voice Sports channel, definitely, yes, Linda. Yeah, definitely sad. 24 years old, sad for any person to lose their life. Definitely horrible. Um, and rest in peace to his family, through this tough time. 24 years old. What do you really have figured out at 24? And that brings up Coach Pennington's book as well, because, it talks about doing, raising a man and thinking of slow cooking and how it takes time and you got to prepare it just to get it right. And it takes that long to become a man. I mean, a lot of people, oh, yeah, I'm a man. You still have a lot to learn. I'm still learning. We all go through trials and tribulations where we're all still learning and navigating through this life cycle. And that's why I don't lie to anyone. I'm up front. I'm gonna tell you how it is. I'm gonna tell you if I don't like you. I'm gonna tell you this is wrong. I'm gonna say things that other people won't say. And some people that even question the credibility will be, and like I don't say half the things I could be saying. But definitely get this book because my point is we're all still learning how to be men. So big shout out to Rally Point. The only way to stand is together. And big shout out to the Fed Hill movement. They have a big cookout coming up. Lincoln Woods, Lincoln, Rhode Island, Field A and B. Listen, everybody's welcome. Come down May 29th. If you're passing through Rhode Island, stop in. This is a day where everyone comes together to remember our fallen brothers and sisters. And this is becoming a Rhode Island thing. This started out in the backyard of Providence, Rhode Island, where a couple of brothers started having a cookout with a broken hibachi grill. Go back and watch the Ali Pone interview, and he explains it all. And if you go over to that page, you can actually win a limousine ride to and from the cookout. Now, for my people that are listening up there in the DMV and California, I think that may be a little too far, but definitely go check them out at the Fed Hill Cookout page, and you can actually win $100. Best dish contest winners taking home
100 bucks.
$100. That's right. So definitely check that out. And a big shout out to Mark Wright, 401-787-5203, Presidential Award winner. Support those that support youth sports. You're looking to buy a house, give Mark a call. Let him know what's up. I'm interested in buying a home. What can you help me with? I mean, Mark's a great dude, and he supports youth sports. So we have to support the ones that support youth sports. And listen, if you're looking for somebody to host your events, full coverage media from like A to Z, man. Give Voice Sports a call, man. Voice Sports got people on the ground, 22 states ready to get whatever you need as far as getting the athletes out there, getting their faces out there. You need an announcer at the game. Voice Sports got you covered. 22 states. Reach out to a Voice Sports reporter today. Reach out to Wayne the Voice Matthews, So wherever you are, we might have a Voice Sports reporter there. So definitely big shout out to what Samson the Bad Guy has going on. And if you want to sponsor the podcast, we got some other sponsors that are coming up pretty soon. Big shout out to them. And some of Voice Sports sponsors. Big shout out to Champion Drive, Dynamic DSP doing their thing up there, So, no matter where you are, man, you want to promote your program, you want to support, reach out to me, reach out to Wayne the Voice Matthews. What else? All right, so we're gonna get back into this NIL thing. I definitely wanted to shout out the people that help us out. But according to the Athletic, a 2023 recruit has signed an agreement with a school NIL collective that could pay him more than $8 million over 4 years. Now we know that the recruit was already paid $350,000 right away. Right away, he got $350,000 off the cuff. This deal will then follow up by a monthly payout that equals more than $2 million per year. Now, at the time, they could not confirm the player, but you start thinking about it and you're like, all right, who could they be? There's a couple people in mind. But then right away you start thinking, well, California, because California has them rules. Alaska don't really have anybody that could demand $8 million. And then you see a few days later that Louisiana, their school board, of course, adopts something that's going to go out of their way for high school students to get that money. Yeah, you know why? Who lives in Louisiana? Your Royal Highness family, the Mannings. So guess what? Archie Manning is now going to get already $2 million. Hasn't even proved himself yet. $2 million over the next 4 years. $350,000 paid right away. From last night of 2022, that's over 4 years. I got a peek at the contract. Here's how the school NIL inducing recruits without putting it in writing. Let's see. Let me make sure. Okay, we good. 5-star recruit in class of 2023 signs agreement with collective that could pay him more than $8 million. And again, if you're just joining us, NFL quarterback Dwayne Haskins reportedly killed in a car accident. Very, very, very sad. Very sad. Dwayne Haskins, only 24 years old. While he was training, he was hit by an automobile, loses his life. Shame, 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 shame. But right now, we're talking about NIL deals for high school players. Let me know you want to jump in on this. I'm actually looking for another video, so give me a second while we get into this. But on Friday, no. Oh, okay. Sorry, thought something happened. On Friday, a 5-star recruit, class of 2023, signs an agreement with the school's NIL collective that could pay him $8 million. Blah, blah, blah. He paid $350,000 immediately, followed by monthly payouts, more than $2 million per year. Do we have anyone in Rhode Island that would get that kind of money? Or what high school students do you think would be worthy of an NIL deal? Leave them in the comment section. But now this is going to begin once his college career. In exchange, see, a lot of people don't realize these NIL deals, you have to commit to certain things. You have certain promotions you have to do, especially if it's third party, because I think rules play in here. You got public appearances, taking part in social media promotions, other NIL activities, especially if it's coming from a third party. I mean, there's really no database to reference any other contracts. What, two NIL experts believe it's the largest individual NIL deal signed by a non-professional athlete. Now, this is all coming after the Supreme Court ended up ruling on it. But let me know, should high school kids get NIL deals? If you want to talk about it, I'm going to put it up in the comment section. You can come on and we can have this conversation. And let me know what you think. Okay, there it is. It's in the comment section now. So definitely check that out. Let me put it in the Voice Sports comment section as well. Okay, it should be popping up in a second, I believe. Oh, nope. There we go. Yeah, so if you're just joining us, NFL, Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Dwayne Haskins passes away, gets hit by a car while practicing, I believe, from what I understand, while practicing with some of his teammates. How could that even happen? But right now, we're talking a little bit about the NIL deal that Archie Manning just got, becoming, I think one of the first high school players to get an NIL deal. And are other states going to jump on? Are we going to see other states approving laws and changing laws? And what happens with the NFHS and all this? And is it going to push more kids? Oh my God, more kids to private schools. Oh my God. Because some NFHS has already said that we have rules in place. It says NFHS has made it clear that NCAA NIL rule changes do not affect current high school student athletes. They even went on to say that they recognize the talent of these students, but we have rules in place for a reason that prohibits students from taking money that's connected to wearing the school uniform. Are we going to see T-shirts in the stands of different brands? Jimmy Joe's Smoke Shop? But given the NFHS member state association, which includes 51 states they want to mention, and the District of Columbia, so they're like, where you going now? We want to get our due. They want theirs, is basically what they're saying. They want to get theirs. But it says it prohibits student athletes from earning NIL compensation connected to high school athletes. It could create a shift in high school athletes transferring to private schools or participating in more club sports. So, does the NFHS just want to get this? Should it be up to the individual school? Since the school and the interscholastic leagues, they just have an agreement that they're gonna work it out with each other. They pay the league their union dues. Let's see. Up, they want money from me now. I can't look at it no more. Ain't that something? They want that money. All right, so let's get out of there. Let's go back to give me 1 second to get these. Just bear with me, peeps. Come on, where is it? What do you think about these Rhode Island schedules that came out recently? We're definitely going to talk about that a little bit, but where is this thing? Oh, here we go. Yep, here it is.
USAA is made for the safe pilots.
We're going to play a video, and he's basically going to, come on.
Like Matt, who can come to a stop with barely a bobble. With USAA Safe Pilot, when you drive safe.
College football is more like the NFL than we thought.
All right, here we go. We're going to play this little clip. A few minutes long. It's actually pretty good. I actually didn't even see the whole thing, so I'm lying. Let's see what he has to say.
Thought is NIL going to ruin high school football? Let's talk about it.
Is the NIL going to ruin high school football? Is the NIL going to ruin high school football? And shout out to Kuz's Corner. He got a YouTube channel. I came across a little of this, watched a few minutes of it.
What is up, college sports fans and fellow members of Mountaineer Nation? This is Kuz, and welcome to another edition of Kuz's Corner. So come on in, sit back, relax. Let me pour you out a shot of top shelf college sports content. Subject of this episode is NIL. There have been two pieces of news regarding NIL that's came out in the past week. The first one, Jarvis Brownlee, defensive back, Florida State. Reports are saying that it's rumored that he's apparently sitting out spring practice over an NIL deal. So he's holding out, just like NFL players hold out over contracts. He's apparently holding out over an NIL deal. And according to the report,
what do we do about that? High school kids holding out over NIL deals. Should the school just yank their scholarships? Like, if the kid's holding out, because of an NIL deal, which I know somewhere in the NIL, it says that, you really can't dictate where the kid goes to school. So we're going to look into that. But should you just yank their scholarships?
It was first brought out by Knowles Cast, which is the biggest Florida Seminoles podcast out there. Not that he didn't have an NIL deal, but that he did not qualify for an NIL deal that he had. So apparently, these NIL co-ops or these collectives, whatever you want to call them, or these companies, even if it's an individual company, they give these players these student athletes responsibilities. They have to show up for, it might be an autograph sessions, it might be commercials, it might be, whatever. And if he wasn't doing the things he was supposed to do, then they may have, pulled the contract. I mean, that's how it works.
And for a lot of these kids that are lazy, there's a lot of stuff they might require you to do through these NIL deals. So if you're going to sign an NIL deal, see what they want. See everything that they want from you and make sure that it's not longevity. Sometimes they can use, and I think the hashtags also, some companies will say, put your hashtag so we can share your content. But if you don't read the fine print, they basically get to share your content forever. And you don't know what they're sharing your content for. So Be very vigilant in that.
So what he's doing, he's holding Florida State hostage, who, by the way, has no control over this because they're not allowed to. They pay for play is not legal, at least not officially.
See? That's what I was saying about Florida State. That's the pay for play.
There's ways around it. Yes, we all know that. But if Florida State would intervene in this, they could probably get in trouble. So it's not like an NFL player who holds out because his team owner's not paying him. His team owner controls the checkbook in that case. Brownlee's holding out, assuming this is true. He's holding out and holding Florida State hostage. And they're not.
So what do you do about that? What do you do when a high school student is holding a team hostage? And are we going to start seeing this a lot more?
The ones controlling the checkbook in this scenario. It would be the NIL contributor, the company, the NIL collective, or whoever it is he's got to deal with. They're the ones holding the checkbook here, not Florida State. So why punish Florida State for it? And if I'm Florida State and this is true, and this young man's really doing this, now listen, I haven't heard both sides of the story. So if this is true, the way it's been reported, and it's not, and assuming this is the truth, they need to yank his scholarship, in my opinion, because he shouldn't be holding them hostage over a deal that they can't control. The second piece of NIL news. NIL is, we already know, it's filtered into high schools. We know about Quinn Ewers, who set out his senior year to go to Ohio State so he can get an NIL deal. We've read reports of some California students getting, four-figure NIL deals and things like that. Buckle your seatbelt, folks. Most of you may have already read this, but for those who haven't, a report came out in The Athletic just a few days ago. A high school student who's in the 2023 recruiting class has signed an $8 million NIL deal with an NIL collective. They promised not to release the name of the student athlete.
Oh, but I will. It's Archie Manning. We know it's Archie Manning now. We know because of Louisiana changing the rules. It's Archie Manning. And who else in high school football is going to get $8 million except for Archie Manning?
So we don't even know what state he's in. But you can kind of narrow it down, okay? First thing that pops to mind, Arch Manning, right? It's got to be Arch Manning. Number one, he's Manning, the name.
Exactly.
Bring money.
Archie Manning.
Wait a minute. I did my research on that. Arch Manning lives in the state of Louisiana. The state of Louisiana does not allow high school students to participate in NIL deals.
They do
Even
now.
private schools. Now,
They do now.
that law has changed. If somebody knows, let me know in the comment section. Has Louisiana changed their laws and now will allow private school athletes to participate in NIL deals? If that's true, then maybe it is Arch Manning.
Yes, they have.
So you go down the list. The second top recruit in the 2023 class is a gentleman by the name of Malachi Nelson.
Even if you don't know chords at
Malachi
all,
coming out of
anything about
Cali.
music theory like me, this is perfect.
Oh,
for you.
let me pull
All you do
that
in your DAW,
down
whatever DAW
for a
it
minute.
is literally just drag and drop.
We can drag one of these chord progressions in.
Malachi
Boom, just like
coming
that.
out of California.
It's a vibe.
We're going to get back into that. I just got to get this video, this commercial.
Unison chord pack, the Unison
Here we
mini chord
go.
pack.
Malachi Nelson, I think his name is, California kid. And I really thought it could have been him, but I said, he's not going to demand $8 million. And then once I seen that Louisiana changed their law around, I said, oh yeah, definitely. Oops.
Malachi Nelson is a five-star recruit out of California. He's a quarterback, and he's committed to USC. I personally think this is probably who it is. California is one of the handful of states that will allow high school students to get
No,
NIL deals.
respectfully, you're wrong.
So you add in the fact that A, he's in California. B, he's a quarterback, which we all know is the position that demands the most attention and is the most marketable. And 3, he's the second biggest recruit in the class. He's a five-star recruit. Him and Arch Manning are actually rated about the same. So, listen, I don't know it's Malachi Nelson. I'm not trying to start rumors, but if you narrow it down,
No, it's not Malachi Nelson. We know it's Archie Manning. And even if it was Malachi Nelson, he's not going to demand $8 million. Nobody's paying high school students $8 million
California,
unless you're from the
quarterback,
royal family, right?
5-star recruit. He checks all 3 of those boxes. Arch Manning only checks 2 of the boxes because he lives in a state where it's not legal.
And now he
Unless
checks
they
3.
found a way around it, and maybe that's why they have to keep it confidential. Who knows? Now, according to the report in Athletic, the deal, he gets $350,000 up front, and then once he steps foot on campus, he'll start getting about $2 million a year up through his senior year.
$2 million
There's
a
also
year.
wording in there, apparently, according to the Athletic,
That is
NIL
incredible
collector
amount of
can
money.
pull the contract if he doesn't live up to his end of the deal. Now, there's nothing in there that says he has to play for a certain school because that would be pay to play. They can't do that. But if the NIL decides to if the collective decides to pull the deal, who knows why do it if he doesn't go to the school they want him to. I mean, we all know there's ways around this, right? And they can word these legal documents how they need to word them to make them legal. Even if they pull the deal, he will still make like 10% commissions and things like that off of, I guess, off of his services or whatever products he's promoting. If they sell, he could get some commission off of it, even if they pull the deal. So he could still make, even if he changes schools, they pull the deal, he can still make some money on it. So the kid's going to make money. Kudos to the kid. I don't blame the kid. But here's the problem. If you got a high school kid who's worried about that $8 million contract, you think he's going to want to risk getting injured in a high school game? More than likely not.
I mean, that's a fact.
So then you got high school kids either A, not giving 100%, which could cause them to get hurt. B, you have them sitting out games, even whole seasons, which, like I said earlier, we've already seen Quinn Ewers do. And then it starts impacting high school football, man. High school football is the lifeblood of a lot of communities in this country. I mean, heck, look at the state of Texas, for crying out loud. There's whole cities that will shut down on Friday nights because everybody's at the football game. I mean, it's a big deal, man. And I do not want to see that ripped away from us. I hope it doesn't get to that. Look, I know there's still going to be kids who don't get the NIL deals that will be playing high school ball, so it won't kill high school football, but it could take a lot of your most talented kids off the field and make it a lot less intriguing. And I don't want to see that happen. High school football is important to our communities, but I don't blame the kids. I blame the system. NCAA needs to step up. They need to do something. They need to put rules in place. Some of these states need to step up, put rules in place. The federal government, somebody needs to step up, put some rules in place to limit the chaos that's being caused by NIL and the transfer portal and all these other issues we've got going on in college athletics. Well, guys, let me know in the comment section, what do you think about these two stories, about the high school kid making $8 million and about the young man at Florida State who's holding out apparently over an NIL deal. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on these two issues, these two NIL topics. You can join Kuz's Corner if you want to continue getting my content. If you want to get perks to go along with that content, hit the join button right below the video. You can join for as little as $2.99 a month. There's other ways you can support me in the comment section. Links you can use to purchase items online that will help me make commission. If you want to help me out for free, all you got to do, hit the like button on this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, share this with all your college sports loving friends. Tell them about Kuz's Corner. Tell them to come check me out. With that, I'm signing off. Keep country roads.
So what you think about that? What
You
y'all
don't need a
think
waffle
about
maker.
that?
Yes, you do. You
Archie
need it
Mann
now.
is set to get
Oh, it's near you. It's in stock. Thanks, Google. Pick it out, pick it up, flip it over. You got
Hang on.
waffles. Gotta have it now. Get it near you. Shop with Google. When I woke up in the morning.
Hang on. $6 million, this dude. Come on, get out of here. All these freaking commercials. Archie Mann is set to get $6 million. Louisiana changes their laws. Dwayne Haskins passes away. We know that today. Sad, sad news coming out of Pittsburgh. But yeah, I think the NIL deals is definitely a big, big deal. The NIL deal is definitely a big deal. With all these guys making that type of money right out of high school, anybody in your state deserving of $8 million that plays high school football? I mean, everyone thinks that they have the best the best football players around. Let me see if I can find anything else on Mr. Haskins. Such a shame, man. Such a shame. Definitely a big, big shame.
College football is more like the NFL than we thought. Is NIL.
So we talked about how the NIL deal with Archie Manning, and he didn't narrow it down, but he might have done this, before it was time. But I think we're gonna come back and we're gonna go over some of these stats for last season. So it'll be on Can We Keep It Real podcast. Let me get them up here. We're gonna go over some of the state's better high school athletes, according to the stats that were put up. But definitely sad story. Dwayne Haskins, 24 years old, passes away. From what I understand, he was injured or he was killed while practicing with fellow teammates. Our car must have drove up there and let me see if I can find anything. Maybe we can find some news reports. Let's look at that. Let me get my let's see. Let's see what YouTube has to say.
Sad news about the Pittsburgh Steelers this Saturday morning, April 9th. We heard word, and then it was confirmed through Adam Schefter of ESPN that Dwayne Haskins, quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, has passed away this morning after a freak accident where he was hit by a car and died soon after. It's a sad story about Dwayne Haskins, who was a 24-year-old quarterback, would have been 25 in just a matter of a few weeks.
That's an understatement. It's a sad story. It's a horrible story.
He was rebuilding his career in the NFL after joining with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He had just signed about a month ago. He re-signed his restricted free agent tender with the Pittsburgh Steelers. By all accounts of people that I talked to in the organization, he was growing up as a professional. He was, doing all the things and more that the Steelers were asking of him, and he was getting ready to be part of a quarterback battle that was going to happen this summer between him, Mason Rudolph, and Mitch Trubisky, for the 2022 NFL season. And he was down in South Florida working out with several other Steelers, including Mitch Trubisky, Najee Harris, Chase Claypool, and several others, working out, developing relationships, and working together to be ready for the 2022 season. I mean, even just posting Instagram videos with Najee Harris literally less than 24 hours ago of me recording this video. It's a sad day. It's a reminder, that you don't know when anyone's ever going to pass away. You don't know when anyone might go. And Dwayne Haskins, by all accounts, I met him a few times. I interviewed him for my job as far as talking to Pittsburgh Steelers, but I also got to hang out with him once during a celebrity softball game, and he seemed like a really nice guy. Didn't push away people just because
Such a shame.
They weren't.
Such a shame. Such
After the
a
sports
shame.
world learned about the tragic passing of quarterback Dwayne Haskins after he was struck and killed by a vehicle in Florida, Adam Schefter has quickly drawn the ire of everyone online because he was the first one to put out notification that this had happened. But the way he phrased it was not to the liking of a lot of people. Not only are NFL players coming out and slamming Adam Schefter, but also some of his colleagues in the woke sports world. Adam Schefter deletes controversial tweet about Dwayne Haskins. And when I was reacting to this, I didn't even realize, the controversy that was about to happen, because when I was reacting to this live, I had this tweet pulled up. And he deleted it while I was recording the video and tweeted out something else. I didn't realize what the significance would be. But now here you have it. This is the redone tweet by Adam Schefter. Dwayne Haskins, a standout at Ohio State before becoming Washington's first-round pick and playing in Pittsburgh, died this morning when he got hit by a car in South Florida, per his agent. Now, someone responds, just embarrassing that Adam Schefter could not get it right the first time without honoring the life of Dwayne Haskins with proper respect. He would have never done that with Drew Lock, the way black people are treated by non-black colleagues. Sigh. Now, I think that is, I think that's that's a jump to conclusion to assume that because Dwayne Haskins is black, Adam Schefter tweeted this.
I mean, but we don't know how Adam Schefter really is behind the scenes.
But that's disingenuous. That's what woke sports media is all about. But here are the comparisons. This is the first one that he said. A standout at Ohio State, before struggling to catch on with Washington and Pittsburgh in the NFL, died this morning. So we put that he struggled.
That is kind of shitty to say. I mean, that's a fact. How he struggled with Washington and Pittsburgh. Come on, you don't say that about someone that just passes away, Adam. I mean, sometimes these media guys think they're bigger than what they are. It's like when these reporters go attacking like high school parents. Like, you think you're bigger than what you are, and you try to, like, that's horrible.
Washington and Pittsburgh. That's not inaccurate necessarily, but may be considered insensitive to a lot of people, and everyone is bashing him for this. This is the redone tweet. People
Was
are
it
not
insensitive?
Let that one go. And as you can see, here's Josiah Anderson.
Was it insensitive? Do you think it was insensitive? Definitely let me know if that was insensitive, or if you have something you want to talk about, Dwayne Haskins. Look in the comment section. The StreamYard link is right there.
Just hit the link, man.
Yeah, hit the link. He said hit the link.
Former ESPN contributor, now at CBS Sports. Dwayne Haskins' family deserves an apology. They don't need to hear about his professional struggles
Yeah, Adam.
on the same morning of his
They
untimely
need a damn
death.
apology,
now, this
bro.
is something that I think could actually have a huge impact on Adam Schefter. Adam
You
Schefter's
think?
career is about getting inside information.
And he's always credible, but when you say something like that, what was your agenda? I learned a lot lately. Read between the lines, because half the stuff that you media say, see, I'm not media. No, no, no. Whatever you guys say, you guys always have an agenda. You know? Don't even get me on the agenda locally.
From NFL players and coaches and such. Lamar Jackson putting Adam Schefter on blast. You lame as fuck all around grown-ass man and can look in the mirror and smile at yourself, right? This is just a couple minutes ago from Lamar Jackson. Everyone saying, what did he say? And people immediately sharing the screenshots. Here's two other guys. Cardale Jones, former Ohio State quarterback as well. How about Dwayne Haskins, son, husband, Buckeye brother, friend, beloved teammate has passed away. The fuck his career ups and downs have to do with him, unfortunately, losing his life. STFU, let his family and friends grieve instead of throwing shade, praying for the Haskins family. Then Joe Hayden, another NFL player. You got to do better at Adam Schefter. This is wild. A man lost his life. People in the comments, this is the tweet that was deleted. No need to talk about his football struggles in the same post, notifying us of this tragic news. If you just search through Adam Schefter, you can see he's getting destroyed by blue check marks, by everyone else, by normal people. Adam Schefter should be held accountable for this. We all make mistakes, but he needs to apologize.
Yo, what do we got, a difference between blue check marks and normal people? Blue check marks and normal people. That's crazy.
Listen, I don't think that Adam Schefter necessarily meant to highlight this. That is who Dwayne Haskins was as an NFL player. He obviously did struggle, but at the same time, you don't need to put that in a post. But I think this is going to be an all-out attempt to make Adam Schefter pay for this tweet. This could have serious ramifications. You see the blue check marks coming and attacking him. You see NFL players coming and attacking him. Definitely shouldn't have phrased it that way. But what do you guys
I mean,
think
yeah,
about
once
the
you-
heat that Adam Schefter is getting? I don't necessarily care too much about Adam Schefter. He's part of the woke mainstream sport.
I mean, he's definitely getting a lot of heat from a lot of people. But what do you think about his original tweet? Do you think that it was warranted? Let's see. Let's go down here a little more. Breaking Steelers quarterback Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne, let's see what some fans have to say. This is Mock Holmes. Of course, it's probably
If you
going to
love
show.
playing classic all-time arcade games like Pac-Man.
Yep, this is actually a let me get through this commercial.
Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here.
Shout out to Mark
Thank
Holmes.
you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally, and I mean literally, does not work. It's Saturday morning, and I'm out and about. I got to take care of doing some running around. I got to find some apple wood to make this ashtray for Marley Greens, and I need to get some measurements for these bookcases.
Okay, all right, Mark. I'm sorry. You gotta go.
Mr. Wolf.
My goodness. Boy, that was like, that wasn't what I was looking for. My bad. Let's see. Mike Fisher.
A tragic weekend occurrence in the NFL family. Dwayne Haskins, the NFL quarterback, is dead. Mike Fisher reporting on the NFL for Sports Illustrated and the Arena Group. Dwayne Haskins, a month short of his 25th birthday, the former Ohio State star and first-round
He would have been 25 next season.
draft pick of the Washington football team, who had starts in Washington, was a favorite, of course, of the owner Dan Snyder.
That was such.
All right, Matt, thank you. We're continuing to follow this tough news into SportsCenter AM. Dwayne Haskins, quarterback standout at Ohio State, and then played in the National Football League, Washington and Pittsburgh. He died this morning after being hit by a car in South Florida. His agent, Cedric Saunders.
Horrible.
Haskins' family. Kyler Murray, as you might imagine, there's reaction pouring in from around the National Football League. Murray tweeting, RIP Dwayne Haskins, heartbreaking. Prayers to his family and loved ones. Love yours while they're here. Tyreek Hill tweeting, lost for words. Damian Harris, Patriots running back, tweeting, my Lord, prayers for Dwayne's family. Let's bring in our Steelers reporter here at ESPN, Brooke Pryor, with us on SportsCenter AM. That is where Dwayne Haskins' NFL career came to an end there with the Steelers. Brooke, what more can you tell us the circumstances surrounding Haskins' death this morning?
Yeah, Randy, he was down in South Florida with about a dozen or so of his teammates in a trip that was organized by fellow quarterback Mitch Trubisky. And they all went down there for a weekend that was supposed to be working out together, throwing passes, and just kind of a team bonding weekend. I've been told that he was with teammates up until, just before this occurred. They were all down there together. He posted a video on Instagram yesterday of
Oh, yeah, because I was wondering, because the way that the reports were coming out would have said that he was training with quarterbacks, running backs when the accident happened.
He and Najee Harris looking like they were dressed up and about to go out on the town after a day of working out. But this was supposed to be, another step to building together as a team in the offseason. I think it speaks volumes that this was organized by a new Steelers quarterback, and he invited Dwayne Haskins to come down there, someone who's already on the roster, who he could have conceivably been competing against.
Well, I see the difference. Sometimes an invitation you may accept, an invitation you don't accept. How life has a funny way of doing things. He don't accept that invitation, and I'm not putting this on a new quarterback, but he don't accept this invitation, this don't happen. Life has a funny way. Life's funny.
This fall for a starting job.
And that's just it. With the franchise now in this post Ben Roethlisberger era, there was a chance at another opportunity for a guy in Dwayne Haskins who comes into the league as a top 15 draft pick, right? With Washington in 2018.
What a shame.
Hard here in studio is seeing
Definitely a shame. Horrible. Let's see. You know what? Let's look up some of Dwayne Haskins' best plays, right? Because we should be celebrating his life right now. We talked about the NIL. Here we go, Dwayne Haskins. Let's look at my man back in the and I know I'm gonna be hit with all kind of copyrights on this, but it's okay.
Check Google.
As long as I don't get no strikes, be good.
Who's got the deal?
Oh, there you are. Come on.
All the prices, all right here.
I hate when they do this. Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, and I know I'm gonna be hit with all kind of copyright strikes, but big shout out to the people that helped me make this possible. Rally Point Men's Ministry. Go to rallypointmensministry.org right now and check and get a copy of Through the Smoker. Definitely every football coach should definitely have this book, man. Big shout out to Mark Wright, Coldwell Banker Coastal Homes. Big shout out to him. Big shout out to Voice Sports. 22 states across the nation. If you rocking with Voice and you need some youth sports media work done, Voice Sports can probably get it done. You need an announcer, whatever you may need, Voice Sports can definitely get it done. And if you need a ride to the event, big shout out to Champion Drive. Check them out. But we're gonna get back in here. Where are we? Okay, let me get through this. So Dwayne Haskins is dead at 24. So we'll play this quick little video.
Big time. Haskins, again, you talk about ball placement.
Granddaughter joining us. You kid. What's up?
This little bang-a glance right here. Perfectly thrown. Look, it's right on the face mask. Dixon, the receiver, to the top of the screen. Haskins on play action, looking for Dixon. He's got a step.
Oh, nice. Are you guys watching this? Let me make sure. Oh, no, you're not. I'm an ass. I'm sorry. I apologize. We'll have to ask my son what he thinks of it. He won't come on camera, but we'll get his we'll get his audio.
Haskins finds the end zone as a runner. First to goal at the 17.
He was no joke. Even as a runner, Dwayne Haskins can get it done.
Haskins with time over the middle. McLaurin touchdown. So it's second down and 10 at the 37. Good protection again. Haskins going up top. He's got Campbell.
Oh, that was beautiful.
That's how you get it done.
Bringing pressure. Haskins trying to escape. Fires across his body.
Oh.
The catch is made. And Benjamin Victor still running. Victor.
Look at this.
Heading for the end zone.
Look at this.
Play action again. Haskins puts down the brakes. Taking a shot to Dixon.
Yo.
Touchdown, Buckeye.
A man was quite a baller.
To the end zone. Wide open.
We're celebrating the life today of Dwayne
Haskins.
Haskins.
To the end zone. And the catch is made. End zone shot for Victor. And is he in? He is in. Here comes a blitz. Ohio State picks Haskins down the feet. Got his man. KJ Hill. First down. Haskins drops back. And Clarks. Touchdown Buckeyes. In Minnesota. Haskins. Deep. They do bring pressure. He gets it quickly. Caught. McLaurin. Touchdown. From the 42-yard line, Haskins sets his feet. Time to throw. And a wide open Johnny Dixon. Ohio State has the lead. Haskins will let it fly. Delivers underneath that caught. Nicely. Ohio State takes over after the missed field goal. And they're going to shot off play action. Receiver wide open. It's McLaurin.
definitely. What a good football player in college, as well as the NFL. Definitely had a chance to turn his career around. Now, we already know Adam Schefter got killed today for talking about Dwayne Haskins' negative traits. I got somebody here, and I was like, what do you got to say about Dwayne Haskins' career?
He was a remarkable college player, though. It was really entertaining to watch, and then watch my team draft him. Very cool. And just short lifespan he had. Could have definitely made some good plays in the NFL, but stuff happens. It was very unfortunate.
And who drafted him first? The Redskins.
Correct, yeah. The 15th pick, draft, yeah, a while ago.
A lot of people think he was going to turn Pittsburgh Steelers around this season, and who knows, sometimes you just don't have the other pieces that's in place to make a team. Well, I know you probably had a hard time hearing him, but I figured with his team, bringing Haskins in the first round draft, it would be interested to hear what some people have to say. But this dude could ball, like he was all over the joint. Look at that catch. I mean, some remarkable catches. I mean, Ohio State was no chumps either. Nice. Wide open. It was such a shame. Such a shame. 24 years old. Dead. I mean, I'm not even sure if anybody knows what really happened. If anybody knows what happened, definitely let us know in the comment section. And big shout out to Showtime Athletics Youth Sports Showcase. Let me see if I can find one more video. I'm going to be coming back in a little while and talking about a few other things more on the local level. But big shout out to everybody listening. I'm going to talk a little bit about NIL. We're going to go over some of the Rhode Island schedule. We're going to talk about some of the D2 matches we have coming up. Few things we're going to talk about. Some coaching changes going on. We definitely going to talk about some coaching changes that are going on in high school football. We had a few nights ago, we actually had the Providence Gridiron. We had the Providence Gridiron Club, and they actually picked their athlete of the year. We're going to talk about that. I want to talk about Texas, a gender switch day. We're going to talk about that. But Dwayne Haskins, we just watched some of his film. Let me go back and let's see, where are we? Here we go. I think I could get it back on. We'll go look at some of his combine workouts. We was just talking about Dwayne Haskins, NFL football player, 24 years old, hit by a car. I have really yet to see what actually happened. This is some of his combine. He was going against Tyree Jackson, Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, Tracy Mastoli.
You're not drafting Dwayne Haskins to run a lot of zone read and ask him to take off and move a ton. You want him to show he can just be quick enough to move within the pocket. There it goes. Like a better start there.
With the upper body. But again, some guys have the ability to do that, use their core, and be accurate. Those are the things that I'm watching with a big guy like him.
He can throw it, can't he?
18 and roll to 20.
But if you roll too early and roll too fast, you're going to get rolled right onto the hospital. I'm just letting you know right now.
That's my job. You do it that way every time, and we'll put it 2 yards inside the numbers, and we're all good. That's why I built my house. It hasn't built too many ones.
It's got Casey right onto the wrong sideline when I rolled too fast up in there and got that hit. I got up and went to the Atlanta sideline and said, Michael, that's not where you're supposed to go.
It's Dwayne Haskins. Talk about the air. Look at that. Look at Eric gets on that one. He can't throw it much better than that. You think Odell Beckham could run underneath that? I think he might have been a foul that one. Evan Ingram, if he was split out, might have been able to get it. Look at that one. I mean, this Haskins out there. They're resetting cones. We have a cone reset. So these are Haskins throws. See the ball jump out of his hand, though. You can see.
Of course, you always got to get a damn commercial.
Stellar Odyssey that begins here at our Grande Maison and moves higher and
You always
higher
got to get a
into
damn
the
commercial with
vast
this stuff, right?
of the universe.
You can't just go, they want my $10 a month, and I think YouTube is about to get it. Yeah, they're definitely about to get it.
An out-of-apartment experience, but apartments.com can help you trade this love nest.
A live look as Dwayne Haskins, Bucky Brooks' #1 quarterback in this 2019 draft class, beginning his throwing session, and we are here with you for the entirety. Bucky, this is a guy who broke Drew Brees' Big Ten record for touchdown passes in a single season, the most prolific Ohio State quarterback that we've seen for the Buckeyes. And the arm talent is obvious.
I mean, it's spectacular. He is a spectacular thrower. When you draw them up in terms of pocket quarterbacks, the guys who have dominated position the last 25 to 30 years, he played the position in that manner. What we want to see today is we want to see him continue to do those things. You would like to see him add a little more movement to the mix so we can see how
That's a shame, man. 24.
Is he able to just go the pocket, or can he do some of the movements?
Years old.
Some teams do stretch, bootleg stuff, get on the perimeter. And we don't want him to be a runner, but we want to see how much can we expand the playbook to give him an opportunity to attack the defense in a variety of ways.
And what do you get out of this little latter portion of the deal?
So the latter portion of the deal is actually just to show the footwork and movement for him. It's a bit of the warm-up. The trainer that you see right there to the right is Quincy Avery. Quincy Avery is a renowned quarterback trainer. He worked with Deshaun Watson from the time he was a small kid in the Atlanta area. He is a guy that does a great job of preparing quarterbacks. So Dwayne Haskins and him have been working together for a long time. I think you're going to see a workout that's really designed to show off the final parts of Dwayne's game, while also adding in maybe a little movement stuff to kind of answer some of those questions.
I love it.
How's that work, fellas?
Early part here. We do have a mic on Haskins' quarterback coach, Quincy Avery, there. Certainly worked out for Deshaun Watson. Has been a terrific player in the NFL for the Houston Texans after being a first-round pick. Haskins hoping to follow suit here. Obviously, we've talked about him as a potential.
Whose money is this? I just got here. This is not mine.
He said, "Who money is this?"
What's up, GQ?
This is how Dwayne Haskins spent his first $1 million in the NFL.
As a kid, I always thought I was going to play in the NFL, and everybody thought I was crazy. I mean, you play and play college football, especially if you're pretty good at what you do, you want to play in the NFL. So, of course, throughout the season, everyone was like, man, what you if I got this, I would get this, I would get that. And I'm like, man, I got to focus on getting there first. I got to play well. So,
That's a fact. You got to get there first.
And I made it. I never really had a job growing up. I might have worked like some football camps, if that counts as like a summer camp or something like that. But I never like had to work in pocket 9 to 5.
Does a football camp start count as a job? A lot of kids probably want to know.
Like, hey, is this a job or what?
They're like, what is this?
So if we look at your resume, first job ever is NFL quarterback.
That's pretty.
First job ever. How many people on their resume?
Pretty cool, right? Yeah, that'll be my first real job. When I got
First
drafted, I
job
was actually
ever.
at a bowling alley in Maryland, and I went to high school in the area. The owner's son actually goes to my high school, so it's crazy. I used to go to wrestling games growing up just to be able to be drafted by the
Definitely rest in peace, man. Dwayne Haskins passes away, 24 years old.
hometown team, and knowing I'd be able to take care of myself and not have to worry about making ends meet. Being in school, I didn't have any debt, so everything was already paid for. My apartment, only thing I had to pay for college was my car bill. Might have had like maybe a couple of bills for like library, but I had to pay that off.
Overdue bucks.
Yeah, that's about it.
We all got overdue
First thing
library
I asked my
books.
agent, like, I'm drafted now, so when do I get paid? When I got my first signing bonus, I put about 70% of it away, 30% of it I put in a different account, and I bought some stuff as well, so we'll get into that too. So before we talk about my first million, it's very important that you save your money. Now that I made the money, like, bro, there's taxes. So like, I'm thinking I'm getting all this money and like half of it's going to taxes. You got agent fees, you got all this stuff you got to pay for. I'm a financial advisor. So talk about finances, savings, having different buckets, he calls it, as far as having spending money, having saving money, having money put away for the long term with like 3 different bank accounts.
Yeah, let's get back to that. I want to see what that screenshot went kind of fast.
You got all this stuff you got to pay for. I'm a financial advisor. So talk about finances, savings.
Savings, definitely a big point. Savings. You make it to that point. This money go fast. A lot of people. You look at what Malcolm Butler was making. I think it was $500,000 before he got to that point.
Things, having different buckets, he calls it, as far as having spending money, having saving money, having money put away.
Spending money, saving money, retirement money. All them things you got to do first. And then there's people that you got to have handouts to. You have family you got to take care of. Even a family you don't want to take care of. That cousin that just always sleeping on other people's couches. You got to take care of them.
For the long term, with like 3 different bank accounts. Make sure you be smart with your money because
multiple bank accounts. Be smart with your money. Rest in peace, man. Dwayne Haskins, yo.
I'm not buying no more cars. Not a very great investment. With like 3 different bank accounts. Make sure you be smart with your money because at the end of the day, you don't make that money every day the rest of your life.
He bought a Bentley.
The
and
first
it
thing
fell.
I bought after I saved my money, so make sure you save chicken. I got myself a car and my mama house. I got myself a Bentley Bentiaga.
Salute to the mama house. Salute to the mama house. But why did you buy a Bentley?
It's a very nice car. I got a custom matte black, red interior. It's my baby, called the Batmobile, my favorite car. You can see that car right here. And the interior, right here. That car, $250,000.
$250,000. $250,000 for a car?
Buy no more cars. Not a very great investment to buy cars. They depreciate with value. If you're going to buy a car, make sure you're comfortable with what you buy.
What was your mom's reaction like, and how did you give her the house?
I guess it was like the mortgage papers. She has to sign on it too, because of course she's living there. Being able to just, hey mom, got a surprise for you. Here's a house. But she was just so excited and being able to, move to somewhere where.
That's awesome. Being able to show up, give your mom a set of keys, and be like, "Yo, Mama Dukes,
here's a house. I worked my butt off to get you a house."
That's what's up, man. Salute to you. Salute.
Where she'd be comfortable, give me a really big hug, and definitely made those 14 plus years of hard work worth it. I always want to give my mom a house. That's like something a lot of athletes want to do for their mom. My mom sacrificed a lot for me growing up, and being able to take care of her was something that was really important for me.
How much was the house that you bought for your mom?
There's not enough on the table. That would be the rest of all this money. So $750,000. My mom's house was $750,000, but that wasn't spent for me, so I'm not going to count that.
There's not enough money on this table. I think his mom's house, he said, cost $750,000.
I'm not gone yet. Declaring from the draft, right from college, just training, and then hopping right into the NFL season. There's like literally no time to go anywhere. But I'm going to the Bahamas soon. Trip coming up next month. I like to shop smart, so I got the flights in advance, so they weren't more than like $800, and then the hotel was like $3,000 for a couple of days.
So let's budget $10,000 for the vacation.
Yeah, like maybe like 5 or 7 around there. Finance guys watching, so being smart stuff.
$5,000 or $7,000 for a vacation.
Vacation money.
Rest in peace to this kid, man. Dwayne Haskins, 24 years old. It actually hurts to think of a 24-year-old still in his prime. It really does. It hurts me deep down inside.
I bought some jewelry. I got some on right now. Shout out to Gabe. I always rock earrings. I didn't get my ears pierced until I was like a junior in high school. My dad got ears pierced together actually, so it's pretty ironic. I got me 1 or 2 watches, something I.
I'm sorry, I didn't know
right
the voice was down. You people got to comment this
down
stuff.
already. It's like a chandelier. This watch can be worth over $100,000. I did not pay that much for this watch though. I got to pull up my receipts. It said like $60K for the Patek.
What about the chain? How much was the chain?
Another 10.
Another 10.
You gotta be pretty. So I got a couple of nice clothes. My dad always says I get my fashion sense from him. He used to model and all that stuff like that. So I always kind of knew how to dress. I just didn't have the money to buy the expensive things. So of course, when I got to the league, I was training in LA. So Rodeo Drive is like one of those places.
I mean, do you really need to shop on Rodeo Drive? Even though you have that kind of money, I mean, jeans are jeans. I had little money. I had money. I had big money. Then I'm like where I am now. I have no money again. But I don't know if I can go out and spend money on Rodeo Drive.
Fashion people out here. I got a personal shopper now, and I don't go to the mall anymore. Having somebody I can just text and like, I want to get this shirt. I saw this shirt here, and be able to buy it for me. Shout out to Joey Dubs. I got to buy suits. Suits was something I had to buy for the season. Being a quarterback, bought like 4 or 5 suits, tailor-made, 10. If I had to say clothes and everything like that, first year, I'm like 40,000.
Oof, 40,000 on clothes.
If I had to take myself out of the best style for the Washington Redskins, we'll give Landon Collins, he's up there. My man, Jimmy Moreland is up there. Steven Sims, Q Dunny's up there, and Crow. Rogers Kamari is like my top 5 for drip on the team. I got a funny story. So I'm training in LA. I'm working out with Deshaun Watson and a few other friends, Deshaun Kaiser and Manny Wilkins, with my quarterback coach, Quincy Avery. And we're playing a game. They're like, whoever loses has to buy dinner tonight. So unfortunately, I lose, right? We go to some restaurant and they run the tab up on me crazy. First of all, it's supposed to just be us 4. We invited friends.
This is when they invite everybody.
Family, cousins. It was like almost 15, 20 people at the table. I'm like, there's no way I'm paying for all this food. It was like almost $10,000. I was pissed. So I didn't bet with them no more. Oh,
You said I don't bet with them no more.
Rookie dinner. That's like a real thing in the NFL. Offensive linemen, we took them out to eat. And of course, they ordered all the appetizers, all the steaks they can get. They do not want to go to Applebee's. They want to go to the best steak place that they can find. That was it. That's a bill too. It's something you want to do. Take care of your linemen. They block for you. Take care of you. Keep you off the dirt. I'll do it again if I have to.
That's a fact. Got to take care of the guys in the trenches, right? Got to take care of the linemen. Rest in peace, man. Dwayne Haskins.
Like murals and like motivational things. I got a weight room. I have like 5, 6 different things. Muhammad Ali, Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson. I got a Kobe mural. I got a whole like poker table of like my favorite rappers with Scarface. It's like Jay-Z, Nipsey, J. Cole, Biggie, Tupac. It's a dope piece. They didn't charge me that much, so I'll probably say another 10 for to pay my basement.
Rest in
peace. Of course, you have family members that you want to look after and a couple friends that you grew up with. Biggest thing I learned is how to say no, because people will ask for a lot if you let them. I take care of my sister and help her go to school, stuff like that. Something that I feel like was important for somebody to move forward with their life. I'll help them with. She got a scholarship to SCAD, Savannah College in Art Design. She is an actress and she's majoring in communications. She wants to produce movies, make movies, be in movies. My dad always says she's more talented than me and what she does and what I do, but that's up for debate. I'm 50.
All right, Dwayne Haskins passes away at such a young age. We'll definitely be back in a little while.
No joke, bro. So you'll get taxed where you play. You'll get taxed when you play at your home state.
With another show.
LA, you're getting LA taxes. If you pay in New York, you're getting New York taxes.
In the life with Dwayne Haskins, man. Rest in peace, Dwayne Haskins. Don't forget, tune in this Tuesday night. Tune in all week. You definitely get voice sports
once you get drafted.
all
you get your check.
week
It's a lot of money, but you can go if you don't spend it the right way. That's it, guys. Tops for my first million. Catch me at FedEx Field next year. Go Skins, HETR. I'm out later.
Your favorite